Megavan and Popverse. I am Ashley Victoria Robinson, your video host and producer here in the Popverse, a virtual realm created by Read Pop, where we are celebrating the very best in TV, movies, and comics each and every single ding dang day. I have Nenya with me for all of her wisdom and all of her powers of air, so we get through everything important as we break down so much Rings of Power stuff for you today. We're doing a deep dive into Middle-earth, starting with a recap of the thrilling first season of Amazon Prime's The Rings of Power, which has taken fans on a captivating journey through J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, and we are breaking down everything that we officially know about season 2 of The Rings of Power, coming out on August 29th. So grab a seat, get your own Ring of Power, make sure you have your tomes on hand, and let's get to this exploration of Middle-earth, shall we? The Rings of Power introduces us to a rich tapestry of characters, from mortal men to elves to powerful wizards and ominous creatures. As the series unfolds, we follow the fate of the legendary Rings of Power and the intricate web of alliances and conflicts that shape the destiny of Middle-earth. At the heart of the story is the enigmatic figure of Sauron, a dark and malevolent force seeking dominion over Middle-earth. We witness the forging of the Rings of Power, each one holding immense allure and danger, and the pivotal role they play in Sauron's grand design to subjugate all free peoples of Middle-earth. Our journey also follows the fate of iconic characters like Galadriel, as she befriends the original character Halbrand, who may have more to do with Sauron than we first thought. The resolute Elrond shining a light on his canon relationship with Prince Durin IV, his wife and breakout fan favorite character Princess Disa, original to the show, and the kingdom of Khazad-dûm at its peak. And the leadership of the elves, from King Gil-galad helping his people through a difficult transition in their lives in Middle-earth, to the skilled craftsman Celebrimbor, contrasting his refinement with his naivete as his corruption by Halbrand turns out to be the seed of Sauron's conquering, whose actions and choices have profound implications for the fate of Middle-earth. Their struggles, alliances, and sacrifices shape the course of history and set the stage for the monumental events to come. From grand battles that echo through the ages to the breathtaking landscapes of Middle-earth, we meet Arondir, an elf, and Bronwyn, a human. They give us the elf-human romance of this series, following in the footsteps of Beren and Luthien and Arwen and Aragorn. They introduce us to the Southlands, which is later revealed to be Mordor, following an amazing volcanic eruption. The Rings of Power immerses us in a world of awe-inspiring beauty and perilous challenges. Each encounter, each decision, and each revelation adds a depth and richness to the tapestry of Middle-earth. The season culminates in a series of heart-stopping moments, particularly for the humans. Queen Tarmiriel and Elendil guide their people from Numenor to Middle-earth in the beginning of the grand book canon storyline, The Fall of Numenor. As alliances are tested, betrayals are revealed. Halbrand was actually Anatar, actually Sauron all along. Who could have possibly predicted? And the shadow of Sauron looms larger than ever. As our heroes face an uncertain future, the stage is set for an epic conflict that will shape the Middle-earth for generations to come. Whew! Did you follow all that along? Okay, now that we've had our little refresher, it's time to talk season 2. Oh, and before we get too far into it, don't worry, there will be no spoilers today, just what we know officially. As fans eagerly await the return of this captivating world, teasers and concept art have given us tantalizing hints at the upcoming season. With new characters, epic battles, and unforeseen twists on the horizon, the second season promises to expand the scope and deepen the lore of Middle-earth. Alongside familiar faces from season 2 of The Rings of Power, we are introduced to a host of intriguing new characters and storylines that will add fresh dimensions to the narrative. From enigmatic wizards, I see you, to valiant warriors, these newcomers will bring their own conflicts and secrets to the ever-evolving landscape of Middle-earth. New casting include Kieran Hines, who you may remember from Game of Thrones fame, Rory Kinnear, who you may remember from James Bond fame, Tanya Moody, Gabriel Akubudiki, Zaitz Atur, Ben Daniels, who you may remember from The Crown fame, Sam Hazeldine, who was actually taking over the role of the original character Adar because the original actor had to step aside, Amelia Kenworthy, Nia Towell, Nicholas Woodison, Oliver Elvin Wilson, Stuart Bowman, Callum Lynch, William Chubb, Kevin Eldon, Will Keane, Selena Lowe, and Gavi Singh Shera. For those counting at home, that is 19 new characters in addition to the huge cast from season 1. Yes, we had some losses, but Lenny Henry's one of the only main deaths we had. Building upon the foundation laid in the first season, season 2 will delve deeper into the central themes of power, redemption, and sacrifice that resonate throughout Tolkien's mythos. As the fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance, our characters will be forced to confront their deepest fears, desires, and truths, shaping the course of the world for generations to come. Prepare for breathtaking battles, the fall of Numenor, anyone? And stunning vistas. Nori and the strangers are heading east. We have never seen east of Middle-earth. We barely even saw it in The Lord of the Rings. They are literally breaking new ground for us this season. Are we gonna see Rune? I hope so. And game-changing revelations. How deep is Sauron and Galadriel's actual relationship? Did he put a ring on it? We actually have a whole video getting into that, which you can watch right here. That will challenge everything we thought we knew about Middle-earth. With each episode promising new surprises and twists, the second season of The Rings of Power is poised to captivate audiences around the world and reignite our passion for this timeless saga. Two casting I want to shout out. First of all, Rory Kinnear as Tom Bombadil. What amazing inspired casting. TLDR, if you don't know, Tom Bombadil is a really important character from the Fellowship of the Ring who was actually left out of the original films. One of the #1 notes that book fans have about the films is Tom Bombadil's absence, even though I think narratively it makes sense. So I want to shout him out specifically, and I want to tell you a little bit about who he is. Tom Bombadil is a Barrow-wright, and he is a character from J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium. He first appeared in a poem called The Adventures of Tom Bombadil, and is also included in The Lord of the Rings, along with Goldberry and Old Man Willow, and the Barrow-wright, from which he rescues the hobbits. TLDR, he's a wizard, but not a wizard. If you look at the image of him that was released, he seems to be with the stranger. There's a chance I think they're going to make him an Astari, maybe not an Astari, or an Astari adjacent character, which could be really interesting. Either way, despite the fact that Barrow-wights maybe don't necessarily canonically per the books belong in this time in Middle-earth, it's going to be really interesting to see them. It's going to be really interesting to see Tom Bombadil. We don't have official confirmation if Goldberry is showing up, but fingers crossed. I'm really hoping we get to see her too. The other exciting casting choice I want to shout out is Ben Daniels as Círdan the Shipwright. Círdan the Shipwright is also a really important, really interesting lore character who technically does appear in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm going to show you the picture of him right now. He actually pilots the boat that takes Bilbo and Frodo over to the Valinor and leaves from the Grey Havens, which is really, really neat. A chance to see why he's so important and how long he's been a part of the Rings of Power's journey in this series. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about him right now. Círdan the Shipwright, also known as No Way, is a character in The Lord of the Rings who is a master shipbuilder and the master of the Grey Haven. He's a noble Sindar elf who is considered one of the wisest and most clairvoyant of his kind. Círdan is also the original bearer of Narya, one of the 3 elven rings of power, which is later given to Gandalf, as we see in The Lord of the Rings. If the stranger is in fact Gandalf, as the pervasive fan theory seems to suggest, this is really, really interesting as well. Círdan's a character I never thought we would see on screen. I never thought we would see have a big role. Like, this is really deep cut stuff that I am psyched to see play out. Also, it was technically teased a little bit earlier. Charles Edwards, who plays Celebrimbor, the creator of the Rings of Power, said that he would love to see Círdan. So shout out to Charles Edwards for doing the good work and looking out for all of us book nerds, knowing that Círdan the Shipwright would set us into an absolute tizzy. There we have it, friends. A whirlwind tour through the unforgettable first season of The Rings of Power and some of the highlights coming up in the second season of The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. Join us next time as we dive even deeper into the fandom and into the development of the series and things that we know as the episodes come out. And until then, may the light of the 2 towers ever guide your path. For more on Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth, and J.R.R. Tolkien, don't forget that you want to visit thepopverse.com, where we're celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics each and every single day. I have been Ashley Victoria Robinson, your video host and producer here in the Popverse, a virtual realm created by ReadPop. Thank you so much for watching and coming to you from the White City of Gondor. I will see you next time.